Now we are set to go. Round one, scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds. I'm Jen Baronico with Dean Thomas for the Prize Fight Network. Frank Gentile is about to get us underway. And we are set to go. And I have just got to say, amazing intensity. HodgeWallace goes for a front kick, gets taken down. Now he's in Ryan Hodge's world. I have just got to say, Dean Thomas, that I am so impressed by the matchmaking here tonight. Carlos Diaz, the matchmaker, put together an unbelievable card for the inaugural event of Fat City Fights.
Yeah, Carlos Diaz did do a nice job of putting together some good, talented fighters. Very evenly matched fights tonight. I was entertained.
Yeah, you know, these matchmakers, if they're good, they put together these quality fights, and that makes a card. And I guarantee for Harmful Intent Promotions' first event, they have just won a lot of fans here with the competitive bouts.
Ryan Hodges has his forearm and HodgeWallace's neck, and it seemed like it was bothering him. It's going to be very difficult to shake Ryan Hodges off if he uses his wrestling base. It's going to be hard for Crafton to get out of this position, especially now he's up against the fence. I think he's going to try to use the fence to kick off, but Ryan Hodges got a good wrestling base.
And Ryan Hodge at 6'1".
He's past the guard of HodgeWallace. He would actually do better if he stepped into his half guard. They're warning Wallace about, you know, using his toes in the defense.
And Wallace looking to get back on his feet, and he does, and the crowd here at the Lee Civic Center goes crazy for their hometown boy. And I'll tell you what, at one time, Crafton Blaze Wallace, it was tough for him to find fights because he's such a feared striker. A lot of his opponents would back out at the last minute. This guy's very, very dangerous with elbows and knees. And Ryan Hodge is doing the right thing by keeping him in tight. And there's a devastating kick by Crafton Blaze Wallace.
Crafton is actually throwing Ryan Hodges around. Ryan Hodges just kind of winced in his face. It gives you the indication he's hurt a little bit. He probably didn't expect Crafton to be this strong.
And boy, those kicks from HodgeWallace are scary.
And this is where Crafton's experience is going to come in. I know Ryan Hodges is an undefeated fighter and he seems to be game, but he hasn't fought in 5 years, and I think that the longer this fight goes, it's going to come into play.
Right, and I asked him if he had any ring rust, and he believes that he does not have ring rust, that he's been training very hard. He gets punched a lot in training, full contact sparring.
Well, you see, it's a big difference, though. You can get punched in training, but there's not a crowd yelling ooh and ah, and that has an effect on your psyche when you're out there fighting.
And Ryan Hodge takes it to the ground again. And look at HodgeWallace with a closed guard, moving his hips up, looking like he's going for a submission attempt. He's going for an arm bar there. And that's the thing. Nowadays, these fighters are so well-rounded. Crafton, I asked him how much time he spends on the ground, and he does spend a good bulk of his training on the ground now. So his jiu-jitsu has come a long way. He's not a one-dimensional fighter at all anymore.
Yeah, when he's in his guard, he seems to have a good idea of what to do and how to finish a fight. Here's the part where you have to question his ground skills is when he's not in his guard. He's in his half guard now, and he's just not really right now really using his hips effectively to get to an advantageous position.
And he's training his jiu-jitsu with Marcelo Pereira, Team Inferno. And he says he's been working on his ground game for about 3 years now. Another beautiful takedown by Ryan Hodge. Was going for the mount. Now he's going for an arm bar here. And another exciting bout tonight for Fat City Fights.
Oh, absolutely. He has this arm lock. It doesn't seem to be in all that tight. He doesn't really seem to have a lot of confidence trying to finish this arm lock, but there he goes. He's going to try to extend his hips. But I think Crafton is confident right now. He's actually punching from inside this arm lock. He's going to keep his weight on him so he can't extend his hips.
And Crafton is a smart veteran of this game.
But this is 10 seconds left. If Crafton can hold on, he's gonna go back with some confidence to the round. He's gotten out.
And I do see some blood on the face of Ryan Hodge. Looks like one of those shots opened him up a little bit. Hopefully his corner can get him all taken care of there. Round one, a very exciting round. Dean, who do you give that round to?
You know, it's funny that, I think I actually gave the round to Ryan Hodges for, I don't know, I actually gave the round to Ryan Hodges, but I think that the momentum is going in Crafton's favor.
And we're looking at HodgeWallace now, who does not have a stool. He's not sitting down. I don't know if that was by choice or his corner forgot the stool. This is Jen Baronico. Alongside me, Dean Thomas, 7-time UFC veteran. This guy's been in the cage with the likes of wins over Jens Pulver, Matt Serra. We've got a legend next to me here, Dean Thomas. I'm glad you could be with me tonight.
Oh, well, it's a pleasure to be here. I'm very entertained. I'm having a good time. These guys are fighting hard. What more can I ask for in life?
And these shows here are feeder shows for the bigger time shows like the UFCs. A lot of these guys are going to make their way there one day. Just like Dean, you were a Florida fighter. You got your start in shows like this.
Definitely. This is where I got my start. This is very nostalgic for me to sit here. I'm just glad I'm on this side tonight, not on the inside.
And we can expect to see you fight next when, Dean?
September 19th, Spencer Fisher, UFC, Spike Fight Night.
And here we go, round two. Crafton tries a left and an inside leg kick. Ryan Hodge looking to close the distance there with some strikes.
Now Ryan Hodge has to be careful getting a little too confident on his feet here.
Another nice leg kick by Crafton HodgeWallace. Ryan Hodge goes for a Superman punch and then tries for a double leg takedown. Gets stopped. Crafton with a nice base there, trying to base his right leg out. Oh, and he gets taken down. And there's the wrestling ability of Ryan Hodge.
He's got his head stuck, and he's going to pull. All right, he did a good job of pulling his head out. Now Ryan Hodge just really needs to establish a position here to just really pin Crafton down if he wants to win these rounds. Because his base is good enough. I think he's just giving a little too much space by making bad decisions. As far as, passing the guard and going for too many submission attempts. He should really work on his ground and pound.
Round two, scheduled for 3. These are 5-minute rounds. This is the middleweight division. Another action-packed bout. And I just can't say enough about the matchmaking here because every fight tonight has been competitive. Carlos Diaz, matchmaker, good job.
Crafton's going to use that fence to stand up. Now, that was something that Ryan Hodge should have sensed earlier and pulled him away from the fence or maybe turned him so that he couldn't use that fence to stand up. Crafton's just going to lean his back up against the fence and just work on getting his legs underneath him and try to stand up from this position.
Nice control by Ryan Hodge here.
Yeah, if Ryan Hodge can just keep his head on the fence, keep his hips pushed in, he'll keep Crafton from getting that leverage and getting his back on the fence.
And Ryan,
it's going to be tough. It's a tough task, but
Ryan told me that he was actually at Crafton HodgeWallace's first fight. He's been following him. Oh, and he gets the mount. Been following his career. He respects him a lot, but he thinks that he has the tools to beat him. And here he is in a mount position. Crafton is doing his best to protect himself. And Crafton gets it back on the feet where he wants to be. The crowd at the Lee Civic Center goes crazy.
I think Crafton got a little desperate there. It seemed like he wanted to go for a guillotine. That's a little sign of desperation. I think Crafton's going to try to refocus now and get his game back together, and that's to stay on his feet and start throwing punches.
And
that's what he needs to do at this point.
In the clinch here, Crafton's got one hand in, one hand out, over under. And Dean, what does Ryan need to do to get this fight back down to the ground?
He needs to try to establish an even tighter body lock, push him up against the fence, then go down towards his